Item number 6, Mr. Reardon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bear with me here for a moment. Mr. Mayor, I move that Resolution 2008-176, preliminary subdivision plat for the marketplace, lots 1 through 5, be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Bush.
Thank you, Mayor Strand, members of council. This is a request by Castle and Cook, Arizona, to subdivide a property located at the intersection, the southwest corner of the intersection of Buffalo Soldier Trail and State Route 92. This is a 6.5-acre parcel of land that they are seeking approval on to subdivide into 5 commercial lots. And the primary lot that would be initially developed is this parcel right out here on Buffalo Soldier Trail, which would be developed for a Walgreens retail store. There's also 3 additional lots for future development located here, here, and here, and a parcel at the south end of the site that will be dedicated to the city and includes 100-year floodplain area and also an area for a parking lot and trailhead in conjunction with Garden Canyon Linear Park access. There was a development agreement on this approved in 2001 and amended in 2008 that addressed numerous issues having to do with access and uses and hours of operation, the trailhead requirement, architecture for the buildings, etc. The site plan for this site was actually approved back in October. Site plan at that time showed that there was going to be the Walgreens that I mentioned. At that time, there was a proposal for 2 additional retail buildings, and those are on hold at this time, and then there are 2 additional future pads in this location. And as I mentioned, that site plan was approved in October. There were some lighting issues that came up recently at the Development Review Committee meeting, and I just wanted to mention to Council that this does comply with the new City of Sierra Vista Lighting Code, the Light Pollution Code, and it meets the lumen limits, has rear shields on all the lights on the exterior boundaries of the property, and they're also limited to 20 feet in height to mitigate the lighting impacts. Planning and Zoning Commission considered the preliminary plat on the 2nd of December, and they discussed access and other issues on the site and did recommend approval to you by a vote of 6-0. And I believe Mr. Rick Kaufman is here this evening, should you have any questions.
Comments or questions from council? All in favor? It's unanimous. Next item relates also to the same property. Mr. Mueller.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2008-177, final subdivision plat for the marketplace, lots 1 through 5, be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Bush.
Thank you, Mayor Strand and members of council. Again, same property, same developer, same location. This is just the final plat now, and this is actually the legal element that creates the subdivision of property in the 5 lots that I mentioned in the previous discussion. The final plat was approved by the Development Review Committee a couple days ago, actually, and I wanted to mention that the water adequacy requirement, which Council recently did enact in response to the county's action on that, does not apply to this plat simply because there's 5 lots and 6 is the cutoff. So there was no requirement for them to prove that water adequacy requirement. And the reason we have the preliminary and final on the agenda tonight is simply because the final plat review caught up to the preliminary and both items are ready for your final consideration. And again, Mr. Kaufman is here.
Okay. Comments or questions from council?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I just wanted to know, when these are approved, then will there be quite a time lag before these will be developed then? Since we still have one building that is probably going to be developed, or?
Mayor Strain, Councilmember Husking. As I mentioned, the site plan for the Walgreens, actually for the entire center, was approved. The Walgreens, it's our understanding, is planning to proceed with building. We do have building plans approved for that. So they're ready to go, and upon recordation of the plat, they're allowed to go ahead and do that.
So that will happen pretty quick then?
As far as we know, yes. It certainly can, yes.
Just 5 sites at this point?
That's correct. 5 lots.
Yeah, okay. All in favor? And that is unanimous. Item number 8, an agreement with Sierra Vista Regional Health Center. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2008-178, an agreement with Sierra Vista Regional Health Center for intra-facility transport, be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Chief Redmond.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, ladies and gentlemen, this is just the formalization of the agreement for the BLS Transport division within the fire department to handle Sierra Vista Regional's local transportation needs of patients. This simply says that we're operating within the guidelines of the state with a simple parameter. The only difference is that we are doing round-trip travel for them at the one-trip charge.
Okay. Council comment? All in favor? That is unanimous. Item number 9, Mr. Mueller.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move the resolution 2008-179, support of Economic Strength Program grant, be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Welch.
Mayor, members of council, the State of Arizona Department of Commerce has a grant called the Economic Strength Program. This round, it's up to $500,000, which we will be applying for the full amount. The project we're recommending to apply for is the design of Avenida Escuela, the extension from Martin Luther King Jr. Parkway to the Stone Complex, and also the construction from Martin Luther King Parkway to the end of the Walmart development.
Okay. Any comments or questions from council? Okay. All in favor? It's unanimous. Item number 10, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that Resolution 2008-180, Citizens Advisory Commission tasking, seeking recommendations regarding award electoral system be approved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Welch?
Ms. Jacobs.
Ms. Jacobs going to do this? All right.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, Councilmember Doctor had requested the City Council consider tasking the Citizens Advisory Commission on evaluating the effectiveness of a ward system for the City Council election process versus your current at-large system. So the tasking here before you today would request that the CAC evaluate it, research it, look into the pros and cons, and present to the City Council no later than the end of April a report and their recommendations on how to proceed, and then you can decide if you want to move in another direction at that time.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
I have a quick comment, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. I appreciate Councilmember Doctor putting this on the agenda, and I think it's, of course, this is simply going to be an opportunity for the Citizen Advisory Council to give us recommendations. But I think the time, I think it's going to be its time to review this, and I look forward to their recommendations. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, thank you. All in favor? And it's done.